Mazzuca. This is ChicagosRock.com, the Musician Spotlight, and I play lead guitar for a UFO tribute band called Lights Out Chicago. Our band was formed in November of 2007, and I'm here today to discuss the equipment I use and Michael Schenker's tone and riffs that makes him so legendary in his playing. For those of you who don't know Michael Schenker, he played lead guitar in UFO. He was in the band until 1979 after release of the Strangers in the Night album. Supposedly he didn't like the way his guitar sounded. That was one of the reasons why he left the band, and also there was some personality issues. So he went and did a solo career. He came back and forth into the band a few times, and then I believe it was 2002 he left the band. He originally played on Gibson Flying V's, and unfortunately he went through a pretty bitter divorce in 2004, which he had to sell all his Gibson guitars. So now he's currently playing on Dean guitars. And so while we're talking about Dean guitars, I have a Michael Schenker signature Flame V guitar. They made 100 of these. This is the 41st one. His signature's on the back of the headstock and actually says 41 out of 100. Now this originally had Michael Schenker pickups that were designed by DiMarzio pickups, and these were the pickups here that were in them. You can see black and white Michael Schenker pickups. They had somewhat of a muddy sound to them, so I changed those, and originally to Gibson. These are Gibson burst bucker pickups. These are the ones that are in here right now are basically a medium output pickup. It's about 8.7 DC resistance on the back, about 8.5 on the front. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but a friend told me that you could actually remove the covers off the pickups. So if you could picture that, that's kind of what they look like. And so we just removed them because cosmetically I like the black look on it, match the guitar better. So it's just a cosmetic thing. Sound-wise, it really doesn't make a difference sound-wise with that on there. So, all right, let's talk about, first let's talk about the amplifier I have. This amplifier is a 100-watt Marshall amplifier. It's reissued Plexi. It was reissued in 2005. The problem with the amp is that it didn't have a master volume and a preamp. So to get a really good sound out of the amp, you have to turn up really loud to get a nice tube saturation on the amp. The only drawback with that is you'd be so loud, you won't be able to hear anybody else. And for all of us that play in the clubs in the Chicagoland area, they wouldn't let you turn up that loud. So I had the amp modified by Voodoo Amps. They're out of New York, and they installed a master volume, a preamp, and some other minor modifications I had on here. But essentially, when you look at the amp here, these were the 4 inputs into the amp here. This used to be the normal channel with 2 inputs, the high treble channel with 2 inputs, and this used to be the normal channel with 2 inputs. So essentially what they've done is they made this the master volume, this is the preamp, and I actually had them install a solo boost channel. And the reason being is that I think all lead guitar players can relate to this, is when you're playing out and you're doing a solo, it seems like the sound guy may or might know you're doing a lead, and eventually by the time you're done with your lead, he turns your volume up. So if you look at my pedal board here, you can actually see down here I have this is the solo boost channel. So when I'm playing, I'll be playing, the solo comes on, you can hear the difference in the volume from normal to boost. So it's really nice to have that feature. And quite frankly, it really boosts the volume up significantly. I could probably turn that thing up to 3 or 4 and almost drown the rest of the guys out in the band. So it's a great feature to have on there. I'm sure the other amps have that, Line 6 or other amps have that feature on there. They have a boost on there. Next, though, let's talk about what I have as far as accessories here and pedals. I've got a full-tone Clyde wah pedal, and we'll get into what I use that for. I have an equalizer just for tone shaping, and a delay, a digital delay boss. Obviously, you have to have a noise suppressor because when you have pedals, you're gonna have some noise coming in through the amp, so you want to suppress that. Obviously, we talked about this was the boost switch. This is actually a preamp out of an Echoplex. Back in the day, they used to have tape delay Echoplex, so Exotic Pedals decided to take the preamp out and turn it into a boost. So there you could hear a slight boost here. Kind of fattens the sound up a little bit, gives you a nice boost sound. It's a little bit of a hot signal, so you've got to either turn your gain down on the amp or keep this kind of down. I've only got this probably at like 9 o'clock on the pedal down here because it really gives a big boost on your sound there. So, and then I have a Korg, a pitch black tuner which mutes the sound while you're tuning up. So in the middle of a song or something when I'm not playing, sometimes I will simply, it'll mute the sound for me, and as you can see I can tune up while the song is going on. If there's a break for me, I can tune, because I'm kind of a fanatic when it comes to keeping my guitar in tune. I think the guys in the band kind of razz me about that, about trying to always be in tune, but you know, I'm a perfectionist, you want to keep everything in tune. So let's go back to the wah. When Michael does his solos, if you listen to the Strangers of the Night album, you can hear, like in the Lights Out solo, you'll hear him you can actually hear the wah going on. So during the song, if you turn it on, I've already had the preset, so when I click on the pedal, I go toe back, and it's preset in the middle to get that kind of you hear the wah sound of the pedal there. You could hear it could just adjust it downwards. But the way I have it set, it's pretty much preset where I want it. So if I go all the way back, it's too bassy. If I come down, it's too treble. So if I just simply let off it, it's pretty much preset where I want it. So that's essentially Michael's, how he gets his mid-range kind of a crying sound on his guitar. It adds a real soulful sound to him. He's already got a very melodic, soulful sound to him, so that just adds to that style that he has. So, what I also want to talk about is having good quality guitar cables and patch cables. I used to have a wireless system, but I realized I was simply pretty much stationary. I wasn't really running all over the stage and doing things like that or wandering out in the crowd. So I decided I was going to go back to having wired sound. So I was told that really good quality cables are Megami cables. So the cables I have right now are Megami cables. The patch cables, I have a few Megami patch cables down here, and I also have small patch full-tone cables, and you can get full-tone cables on I think musiciansfriend.com or thepedalgeek.com is where I've got these full-tone patch cables down here.